Okay, yet another video. I think this one's going to be pretty straightforward and simple. Probably doesn't even need to be done, but I'll do it anyway. I just got home with my Vance and Hines exhaust. I elected to go with the classics, 1.8535. So what I want to do, I want to try to capture the sound difference. Currently, I have the stock mufflers with the plugs punched out and a catless header from American Customs, and there's a separate video on that. Alright, so I'm going to crank her up here. Make sure we're neutral. Just got to have the kill switch on. Alright, they are the correct mufflers. They are for the Chieftain or Roadmaster, meaning they've got the mount for the hard saddlebags here. This is obviously the left-hand side muffler. Very nice, they were very well packed. Wow, those are just wide open with lots of space in there, so these are going to be loud. Very well packed. Each muffler in a separate box, inside a third box. Very good packing. Excellent. So now I can start taking the bike apart. Alright, as I expected, first of all I went through and inventoried everything. It's pretty straightforward. Right side muffler, left side muffler, 2 clamps, and 4 flange bolts. So pretty simple, not much needed for this, just a torque wrench, some sockets, the usual shit. First step is basically removing everything. Not sure what auto lock connection is. Oh, that's the connections for the saddlebag locks. It's just these. So those pop off, saddlebags pop off. This isn't a video on saddlebag removal, so I'm not going to worry about that. So all I have to do to take off the stock exhaust is there is a clamp right here that holds on the heat shield, and then there's another clamp underneath here. I'm not sure if you can see it. This clamp here, that clamps on the muffler, and then there's 2 bolts back here, and that's it. Thing slides off. So gonna do that on both sides. Same idea over here. Big clamp for exhaust, small clamp for the heat shield. Looks like I don't have to remove the heat shields, which kind of makes sense. I can just slide them, slide everything out. So going to get the stock muffler off and go from there. One thing I had forgotten about is the antenna mount. Gotta pull that antenna mount off. It goes, this goes through here, then the small washer, then the large washer, then the lock nut. The reason being, this gets spaced out just a little bit so that this cover can snap around it. That big washer is essentially just to fit in those snaps. So I've got it loosened up here. Just got to get these bolts out back here. I think they're 13 millimeter. The clamp bolt was 15 millimeter, and the antenna is 8 millimeter. Oh, and the small clamp down there is 1/4 inch. Nice mixture. Okay, right muffler off. Just like before, it takes a lot of wiggling, but you can just pretty much wiggle it straight up and down. Make sure that the clamp, actually the clamp's over here now. Make sure the clamp is almost all the way backed off so you have room to wiggle it. So I decided to do these right side and then left side, that way I don't have to move stuff around. So it's doing them all at once. So one thing I thought of, this is the right side here. As you can see, it's designed to bolt in there on the back. I'm going to go ahead and preload these clamps on here, and I want to put them on in a way that the bolt side of it is going to be to the inside with the nut down. That way I can access it easily from underneath the bike, and it will be hidden up underneath everything. So I'm going to get that on there and get it on the bike. Okay, right side is on, and the thing that I made a mental note of and then promptly forgot was putting that bracket back on there. Son of a bitch. So at least the front's all tightened up. I just got to pull those bolts out, put that bracket in, tighten the antenna back on. So don't make that mistake. Okay, so it's now properly installed with the bracket. I went to grab my service manual because this doesn't say, it says the band clamps get 40 to 45 foot-pounds. So of course I did 45. And doesn't say give a torque value on those rear bolts. So I looked it up, and muffler support fasteners get 18 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and torque those down. Interesting that the stock heat shield clamps there and the muffler clamp stock get 31 foot-pounds. So the torque spec on the Vance and Hines are quite a bit higher. And it does note to use their clamps, not the stock clamps. Of course, heat shield clamps don't matter. But I used I'm using all the parts that come with it. So I also kind of sized these two up side by side. You can see the difference in length. Obviously the saddlebag mounts are in the right spot. It's a good 2 inches longer. Here's how it looks from the back. Of course the bags aren't on yet. I may, yeah, I'll finish that left side before I put the bags on. So kind of put the antenna back on, and the left side should be pretty simple. No extra bolts on the left hand side, just the clamps and the two nuts. Alrighty, everything's back together. Clamps down, torques down. I think there's some nice looking exhausts. So I just called Fuelmoto, hoping they'll get me over a tune file here in short order. Obviously they have a backlog of stuff, but I'm hoping they'll get me one. The tune that I had on here was designed for stock plugs punched out. I'm going to go and crank her up with the current tune, see what she sounds like with these exhausts. Let's give her a go. Wow, first impressions are wow. It's nice and deep and low rumble. Sound kind of tinny. I think the if I had to measure the frequency range of the stock plugs with the stock pipes with the plugs out of them, it seemed like it was just kind of loud across the whole range, whereas these are much lower and deeper. I can't wait to get it out and ride it. I'm thinking the tune that I have on here is probably fine if I don't get back, but we'll see what Brian or those guys at Fuel Moto say. Anyway, let's put her back together. Alrighty, finished product, everything all back together. I think they actually look really nice. I like how they stick out further than the stock. They're pretty much even with the tail. Pretty cool. Yes, that's my license plate number. So everybody who blocks out their license plate number, here's mine. What are you gonna do with it? Nothing, exactly. So just waiting for the Fuel Moto. One more crank. Now that I've got the saddlebags on there, kind of providing a little more thing to reverberate against.